Chuckles the Clown. In the heart of the quaint city of Shady Pines, a sinister presence emerged. It was Chuckles the Clown, not the kind of clown that entertained children with balloon animals and party gags, but a malevolent force that thrived on fear. Chuckles wore a faded gown full of bright colors and a big red bow. His face was a grotesque mask of white with dark, ashy lips stretched into an eternal grin. His eyes, hollow and black, held secrets darker than the abyss. The city had never seen such horror. Chuckles would appear at night, lurking in the shadows of abandoned alleys, waiting for unsuspecting victims. His weapon of choice? A wickedly sharp jester's dagger, its blade etched with cryptic symbols. The first victim was Mrs. Abernathy, an elderly woman who lived alone in an old house at the end of a road. On this particularly moonless night, she heard a faint tapping on her bedroom window. She got out of bed, walked over to the window, pulled back the curtain, and there stood Chuckles, his grin wider than ever. Before she could even react, he broke the glass and plunged his dreadful dagger into her innocent heart. The city trembled as more murders followed. The citizens spoke of only a haunting laughter that echoed through the streets, an eerie, otherworldly sound that chilled their souls. Detective Max Holloway was assigned to the case. He studied the crime scenes, searching for patterns, but Chuckles was elusive, his murderous ways seemingly unpredictable. He delved into ancient texts, folklore, and occult practices. His office walls were plastered with gruesome crime scene photos, red strings connecting clues that led nowhere. One stormy night, Detective Holloway received a tip from Madame Eve, an enigmatic seer. She revealed that Chuckles was no ordinary clown but a demon. She informed him of an abandoned circus tent on the outskirts of town that was never there before. The wind howled and the rain splattered as Detective Holloway made his way to the circus tent and stepped inside, the air thick with mildew and decay. There in the center ring stood Chuckles, his eyes gleaming with madness. "Welcome, Detective," Chuckles said, his voice a twisted melody. "I've been waiting for you." Holloway's gun trembled in his hand. Why the killings?" Chuckles circled him, dancing with the dagger between his fingers. "Fear, my Mr. Detective. Fear is my canvas, and blood is my paint. The city's terror feeds me. The pain and destruction makes everything so much sweeter." Holloway lunged forward, but Chuckles sidestepped effortlessly. "You won't escape justice," Holloway growled. Chuckles laughed, a sound that scraped against sanity. "Justice? Oh, Detective, you misunderstand. I am justice. I am vengeance, and everything in between." Their battle raged through the tent, rain leaking through holes in the canvas. Holloway fought with desperation, but Chuckles was incredibly agile. The detective's shoulder burned as he is grazed by the dagger. As dawn begins to approach, Holloway glimpses a glimmer of hope, a rusty lever near the tent's entrance. With a surge of strength, he lunged at Chuckles one last time and knocks him off balance. The clown stumbled backward, tripping over his oversized shoes. Holloway pulls the lever and the tent collapses, burying Chuckles beneath its heavy fabric. The laughter ceased, replaced by a muffled scream. When the debris was cleared, Chuckles was gone, leaving only a shredded suit and the jester's dagger. The city breathed a sigh of relief, but Holloway knew the truth. Chuckles would return, his malevolence undying, and so Detective Holloway vowed to be the city's shield, forever chasing the malevolent laughter that haunted Shady Pines. Remember, dear reader, that sometimes the darkest horrors wear painted smiles. Beware the laughter that hides a blade.